Star Trek's first movie is really all about Spock. When audiences think of Star Trek, the motion picture, they often recall the slow burn pacing, the massive alien cloud known as VGR, and the sense that the Enterprise had finally arrived on the big screen. Yet, beneath the spectacular visuals and ambitious special effects, the film's beating heart isn't Kirk's heroics or the crew's camaraderie. It's Spock. More specifically, it's Spock grappling with his identity, his emotions, and his place in a universe that constantly challenges his logic. It's easy to overlook this when the story seems, on the surface, to be about the Enterprise responding to an interstellar threat. But from the opening moments, the narrative subtly frames Spock as the emotional anchor. His abrupt resignation from Starfleet at the start isn't just a character beat, it's a thematic statement. Spock, who has spent his life embodying the Vulcan ideal of pure logic, is struggling with a very human problem: grief. The loss of his human mother has stirred something in him that even the strictest Vulcan discipline cannot suppress. His decision to leave Starfleet isn't rebellion for the sake of drama. It's a manifestation of his internal conflict, one that becomes the lens through which the audience experiences the film. Even his return to the Enterprise highlights this focus. When Kirk greets Spock on the bridge after years of estrangement, it's not merely a reunion of old friends. It's a reconciliation of identity. Kirk serves as the foil, the extroverted, instinct-driven captain whose confidence underscores Spock's internal struggle. While Kirk wrestles with command decisions on a galactic scale, Spock wrestles with something far more intimate: how to honor his human side without betraying Vulcan tradition. The film positions this dilemma as central to the story, even as starships and cosmic phenomena dominate the visual canvas. Spock's journey in the motion picture is also significant because it redefines what it means to be a Vulcan. Up until this point in the series, Vulcans were often portrayed as paragons of logic and emotional restraint. But here, Spock is anything but a static symbol. He questions, he doubts, and he even allows himself to feel the depth of emotion he spent his entire life suppressing. The very act of confronting VGR, a near-omnipotent entity, is a mirror for Spock's internal confrontation. The alien intelligence challenges the Enterprise not only physically, but philosophically. And it is Spock, with his hybrid human-Vulcan perspective, who ultimately bridges the gap between fear and understanding, chaos and order. Consider the climactic moment where Spock and the audience are faced with VGR's ultimate revelation. The probe was created by humans, long ago, seeking connection, and has now returned with godlike power. Here, Spock embodies the film's thematic core. While the human crew experiences shock, awe, and fear, Spock's struggle is subtler but infinitely more profound. He must reconcile what it means to connect with emotion without losing the essence of his Vulcan self. The resolution, allowing VGR to fulfill its journey, is a triumph of empathy and logic working in tandem. In a way, the entire galactic crisis exists primarily as a mechanism for Spock's personal growth. Even the supporting characters and subplots emphasize Spock's centrality. Kirk's command decisions, the Enterprise crew's procedural maneuvers, and even the tension with the new refit ship itself all orbit Spock's internal axis. Scenes that might otherwise read as technical exposition, calculations, warp maneuvers, and diplomatic strategy become extensions of Spock's psyche, reflecting his meticulous reasoning and moral clarity. In essence, the film transforms a story about a space threat into an intimate portrait of one character navigating profound internal change. Finally, the visual and auditory design of the motion picture underscores Spock's thematic primacy. The lingering shots of the Enterprise gliding through the vast, color-saturated void, the hum of the ship's engines, and Jerry Goldsmith's haunting score all create a meditative atmosphere that mirrors Spock's introspective journey. It's as if the universe itself pauses to watch him wrestle with the duality of his identity. Even VGR's colossal presence serves as a metaphor for the magnitude of the questions Spock must answer about life, consciousness, and connection. In retrospect, it becomes clear that Star Trek, the motion picture, is less a traditional space adventure and more a cinematic meditation on identity, loss, and reconciliation, with Spock at its center. Kirk may be the face of heroism, the crew the ensemble of loyalty and skill, but Spock is the soul. Every plot beat, every moral quandary, and every visual spectacle ultimately reflects his struggle to balance logic and emotion, isolation and connection, the past and the future. So, the next time someone claims that Star Trek, the motion picture, is a slow, ponderous sci-fi spectacle, consider